Hi everyone, it's pool season time and today we are going to assemble my new Coleman 26 feet by 12 feet by 52 inches above ground pool. This is an upgrade from my Best Way 14 by 8 by 39 inches pool that we used to have for the last 3 years. In terms of water volume, this is 4 times as big as my old pool because this take in 8,000 gallons of water as compared to my old pool that only have a volume of 2,000 gallons. If you are a pool owner or maybe planning on getting one for your family and wanted to learn more tips and techniques on how to maintain your pool, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We already have over 30 videos on setting up and maintaining an above ground pool, and we will be adding more in the coming months. I will include the above ground pool playlist on the description below and also at the end of this video so you can immerse yourself with pool knowledge. Before we start, I would like to show you the actual dimension of the pool so you can have an idea on how much space you will need if you are planning on getting the same one for your backyard. Okay, so this is the actual dimension of the pool. You can pause here if you want to write these numbers down. Okay, so I hope that you wrote those numbers down. I would like to focus on this picture so we can have an actual idea on how your pool will look like. Okay, so the height of the pool from the top of the frame to the bottom is 52 inches, but your water line actually doesn't go all the way to the top. You see right here, you have your water line is a few inches lower. So according to the instruction, this line is actually up to 47 high. So your water line is actually a little less than 4 feet. Okay? And if you fill this pool up to 90%, basically up to that water line, you have about 7,966 gallons of water or 30,154 liter of water. Then for the width of the pool, if you look at the top frame from here to here, this is only 10 feet and 10 inches. Okay, so the 12 feet is actually up to right here. So if you look right here, there is like a little band right there. So that is the widest part of the pool, and that is where they measure the 12 feet. Now, from this footing here, the U-frame footing, to the other side of the footing, this is going to be 13 feet and 3 inches. Now, for the length of the pool, they said 26 feet. That is the actual space that you need because the 26 feet is actually right here. And you can see here, it's just a straight pole right there. So that's 26 feet. So that's all you need to know about the dimension of the pool. So an above ground pool is designed to be set up on a perfectly flat surface. My grass area is actually 30 foot long from that wall to this end right here and by 12 foot wide. That's going to be from that wall to the walkway. So this pool is actually going to take half of my walkway because I'm going to need at least 13.3 feet. And another thing is that I have a small slope on my yard. So from that wall to this wall, it's actually going down a little. And from this end right here is actually higher going to that wall right there because all my water is actually directed towards that side of the house and out to the yard. So make sure to watch until the end if you are in the same situation so you can have an idea on how your pool will look like if you have a small slope in your yard. Okay, so let us open the box and check all the parts. Okay, so inside your box are another sets of boxes. That's going to be the actual box, but when you open it, you have other boxes right here. So this is the frames. You have another set of box for the ladder, and that one is your filter. You have a small box there for the return screen, and then you have the vinyl, and that one is the pool cover. And the one on top of the vinyl are basically just the water stopper. So let me go open it up. Okay, so the filter box comes with a filter, and it comes with this hoses right here. You have this two, there's two cheap hoses here. You have the T connector, and these are the output strain screen. It also comes with this connector ring right here. Okay, so the filter is pretty big. What I noticed when I pulled the filter out of the bag is this thing. have actually fall off. So this is just inside the box. So make sure you check your box so you don't get any leak. Make sure you have all your gasket put in place. So this one, I just saw it at the bottom of the box, and I have to put it right here. Okay. Now this small box here that I showed you earlier, all it has is this return screen and this one right here. And this is all the parts you need for the ladder. These are your steps. And inside here is the connector. So we're going to be assembling this ladder later. And here you'll see how well they package the support frames. Everything have its own plastics so they don't get scratched during shipping. It has a nice coat into it. But look inside, what I noticed is that the inside is not really powdered. It's only like up to here. So they probably just spray it and spray right here, but inside wasn't really powdered. They should have deep coated this thing. So this is the problem with this above ground pools. The same thing with my old frame. Over time, with water and metal, they're gonna get rusted. Inside the frame box, you're gonna have 10 J frames. So this is gonna be the U-shaped frame for your side support. And if you look at the bottom, they already put the plastic caps so that the water doesn't go inside this frame. And you have 10 H frames, so this is also part of the footing that supports your pool. Okay, the bottom here are the H. You have 10 as well, so you can put it under each pole. And these sets right here are the top frames of the pool. So that's the B frame. You'll have 8 of those. This is gonna be the A frame, and over there is your C frame. So the C frame are the one that goes to the end of the pole, so that's what forms the oval shape. The A frame will have the beveled edge on both sides. Okay, so just in case you don't have the stickers anymore, and the B frames only have beveled edge on one side, but not on the other side. Okay, and over here you'll have the E frame and the F frames. So the E frames are the ones connected to the C frames. The F frames are the one connected to the A or the B frame. Okay, so that's the one that's connected directly to the straight side of the pole. Okay, so these ones are the one that goes around. And in case all the stickers are already gone from your frames, because let's say this is your second year or you probably bought it used, the difference between the E frame and the F frame will have this oval hole right here. The E frames only have the circles. Okay, so I notice here, if you look inside, I'm not sure if you can see that. It looks like the weld there looks like it has like a rust color, and the same thing here. So before I even start, I'm just gonna spray the insides with rust converter, and hopefully that will protect it. So if you want to do a preventive maintenance, you can buy some of this paint, Rust-Oleum. This is the one that I'm going to use, the Rust Reformer. So these are the ones that I use for my old pool. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same color for this frame right here. But for now, I'm just going to spray the inside of this because it looks like there's like some rust there. And also that inside there, okay? Okay, it's good enough. And it did not color the outside, okay? And I'm gonna try to do that as well, the inside one. Okay, so it looks good. So I'll just do it on the rest of the frames. So if you want to do preventive maintenance, you can do that now. Okay, so you want to spray the inside of this because they don't have paints. And also here, you can double coat it. This thing gets a lot of rust because it's under the flap. And you know, after you play on the water, this thing gets wet, okay? Okay, so like right here, if you notice this, there's like a little scratch there. So since this is under the flap, the water is going to be able to go penetrate this, and basically it's going to rust this quickly. So I'm just going to do a preventive maintenance here. So I'll just spray them with my Rust-Oleum. It looks like the color is almost the same. It's a little darker, but I guess that should be good enough. It's going to be inside anyway. At least paint this part right here, because this is the part, you see that bulge there? That's the part that goes inside the flap, okay? Okay, so the manufacturer suggests that you leave the vinyl open for at least an hour. So that is basically to make the vinyl softer, so that it's easier to remove the creases once you start putting water in it. And also it's easier for you to put the last piece of your frame, because it's going to be a lot softer on the side as well. So I have this thing up here for at least an hour and a half, and let's now go ahead and put the frame in. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have a big space here, I'm gonna go start with the letter B. So I'm gonna put 4 B's right here on the side and then put the A. So let me show you this quickly. So if you look over here, this one here that have the opening, this is the straight side. So the B's and the A, this is where you're going to put them. So this is gonna have like this, and look at the other side. The other side is just closed, okay? Everything that have this is going to be the straight side. So I'm gonna start putting the B's in, and then I'm gonna end up with the A. Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna put the B's first, and then the A is gonna be on the end, okay? So when you put the B's, you wanna make sure that you put the one with the tab first, because remember, the other end of the B doesn't have that, okay? So this is where I'm gonna put the A right here later, okay? So it's gonna be B's. I have 4 B's on this side, and then before I finish this, I'm going to insert the end of the B. So this is the one with the tab again. Then I'm just gonna keep pushing them, and then I'll get the other B again. Again, I'm gonna go ahead with this, and this is the 4th B, and this end again going in, and I'm gonna end this with an A. So see right here, the A have this, and the other side of the A have the tab as well, so that I can install the letter F on there later. And just keep pushing it. There you go. Okay, so you want to make sure that the holes are facing this right here, okay? And I just want to show you the other end, and that's the other end right there, okay? So let me go ahead and install the other side. I'm gonna start with the B again. This is gonna be the part that I'm gonna put in, and I'm gonna end it with an A. And again, just make sure that the hole is right in the center of this, so that you can install the U-frame on this later, okay? The next step will be to install all the C's, and that's gonna be the one that goes around. So you have 4 C's on this side and another 4 C's on the other side. Then you want to install the E's on the C's. So if there's 2 connecting C's, you want to install the E's on that, okay? So let me go ahead and do this. So these are 2 C's, so I'm gonna be installing E right here, and another C right here. Okay, so I installed the E's right there, 1, 2, and 3. So I've installed 3 E's in this corner, and then the straight corner and the start of the C is going to be a letter F. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So this part here is gonna be a little hard because of the positioning, but let's see if we can put it on. There you go. Okay, so next is to put all the 5 poles on this side and the other 5 pole on the other side. Okay, so just want to make sure you'll have your 5 poles ready, And then you put this footing at the end, okay? Make sure you don't forget that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start putting this from the center, and then I'll put it on the two other side and then the two other sides. So if you're doing it by yourself, you want to do it that way. If you have a help, then you guys can do whatever is more convenient for you, okay? So for this one, I'm just gonna lift this up. So I'm gonna go put this thing first. I'm gonna put the other foot on this side as well so that we can just straighten them out. I'll do it on this end too. Okay, so now that you have that, maybe you can start putting this thing in. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'll put this inside the band and push this thing up. The same thing here. You're gonna have to pull this out and push this inside the band also and push it in. Gonna put this thing also. Again, put it inside the band and push it up. And now I'm gonna have to fix this. Take this thing out, put it inside the band and push it out. Okay, make sure you put the feet in. And basically you want to repeat the process on the other side. So right now I have installed all the straight foot support, and you can see right now, make sure that all the straight support are inside the band, okay? Because that's what's gonna support your pool, okay? And then this one here is gonna be outside of the band because this thing have its own flap. Okay, so you want to make sure to pull the flap from under because this thing sometimes could get inside, okay? So you have 5 flaps here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another one there. And what you'll do is basically just pull it and you want to push this thing in. And when you do that, I always try to make this to be facing inside, and hopefully basically this thing have a small hole so that if there's any water it will go out, but I don't think that matters. But let me go ahead and push this thing in. And then this part right here, you just have to install it right here, okay? So just want to push this thing up. And the same thing on this side. Sure it's pushed in and snap. So you repeat that process on this side, going to the end, and also on the other side. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this is how it looks like installed. Again, if you look at this straight footing right here, they're all inside this band. The U support is outside of the band, but it's inside the flaps, okay? So make sure you grab those flaps, then that will going to hold your U support and your pull together, okay? And for this one here, the what's gonna hold your straight pole and the pull together is the band right there, okay? Right now it's still empty. It's 5 p.m. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna start building the ladder, and we'll also start filling this with water so we can start to smooth them out. Okay, so I have some water right now. You want to slide from the center going to the side, okay? So that you can push all those creases out. You don't want to put any more water from here without removing those creases, because once you do that, those creases are gonna be permanent, and that can also damage the bottom of your pool, okay? So we'll go ahead and straighten them out, and we'll fill this up with water, and then we'll come back again. Okay, so we're here now the next morning. Basically last night I have to remove the water that I put in, and because I didn't realize it's gonna be harder to push all the stuff out with the water in. So with this pool, as long as you start putting water, you wanna start pushing all the kinks out. So what you do, you can go into the corner and push it. So this part here is now too high, but what you do is you can use your push broom and just basically from the middle go to the side like this. Okay, and just go like this. And as you do that, you're gonna notice that all the kinks are gonna be going away. Okay, so while we are waiting for the pool to get filled up with water, let's go ahead and install the water inlet screen. So this is your water inlet. So you have this. It depends on what packaging you got. You might have just a regular one, but this one comes with a valve right here. So this thing um, goes outside. Now the water inlet, there's three parts, okay? So the first part is this one right here. So you can remove this top part, and if you look here, you have another thread here. So this is going to be for the vacuum hoses, and then you have this for this one, okay? And then this one here comes with two parts, okay? So you have this and you have this rubber gasket right here. So according to the manual, you want the rubber gasket inside, so I'll just put it like this, and then I'll tighten this one from the outside. Now that you have that, you can now put your valve right here, okay, and make sure that you have the gasket, okay, and you just have to hand tighten it as well. So just make it tight enough so that you don't get any leak, okay. So just gonna go ahead and put this into the lock position for now. Now let's go ahead and install the two water outlet. Okay, so for the water outlet, it's gonna be the B side. So you see right there, B. The other one have an A. I did not mention that, but you have that one, and you have another one right there. Okay, this is the water outlet. You have two of them, and if you notice, this thing have a screw to hold this in place. You don't really need that. You want to remove that thing because basically when you want to clean this, let's say you have like a lot of long hair that gets stuck uh, in here and you want to just clean it up, you can always uh, unthread this thing, because this thing is a thread right here, so you don't really need this. I'm not sure why they put that, so let me go ahead and remove that. Okay, so I just removed the screw that they put in, and you can see here this is actually a thread, so you don't really need that screw there. So not really sure why they put that thing there. So let me go ahead and install this. So to install this, you basically want to push this from the inside. So this part here, you notice here, this is soft, but this part here is what's gonna make this thing harder. So when you clamp it, it's gonna be secure. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that, and then I'll do it on the other side, and you can see that part of this actually came out here. Okay, so let me go ahead and do it on the other side as well. Okay, so from the inside, those two are your water outlet, and the high one right there is your water inlet. So the A side is basically where the water comes back into the pool. The B sides are the ones that goes out of the pool. So this is where the water gets sucked, and this is where the water returns. So let's go ahead and assemble the filter and install it. Okay, for the filters, you're gonna have an A side and a B side. Usually the A side is gonna be on the side right here where the A is, and the B is gonna be on the other side. So if you're not sure, you want to check this, okay? You have an A and you have a B right here, okay? So this particular filter is actually the best way Wi-Fi filters. And you notice you're gonna have two hoses that looks like this for this particular model right here, and one of them is short and one of them is long. So you want to use the long hose on the A because the short one will connect into another set of hose, so that's gonna make that thing longer. Okay, so what you want is the long one goes to your A. So basically here you just want to push this thing right here, so it has the gasket here. Make sure that you have that gasket. Okay, so just push this thing in and lock it with this thread, and then the other end you just basically put it right here. Make sure that you have this rubber gasket here, so you don't get any leak. And basically you just put this thing in and you can hand tight it. So now for the B side, you want to make sure you have this gasket and just put this thing in and hand tight it. This two right here comes with this one as well. So this is your T connector. You have this gasket here and it comes with this clamps right here. So let's go ahead and just install this first. So let me go to install this. You just basically put it right here and push this thing in here, okay, and just thread it. And once you do that, you want to install this right here. So you see this notch right here that goes where the thing is, okay. So let me go ahead and push it on. And after that, you want to grab one of your clamp and basically just put it right here. So you can either put it right on top of the gasket to make it tight, but what I usually do is I put it right after it. Okay, so this part right here, I'm not sure why this is too loose, too short, but the ones I have before, this one's a little longer. But anyway, I'm just gonna put it right here, right after the gasket, and then I will thread it. Gonna be tight enough, and I'll just do it on the other side. Then all you need to do is just put the clamp in. Okay, so those three poses that comes with it goes into the T connector. The T connector goes into this sticker hose that goes to the B side of the pump. And then from the A side, on the other side, it goes to the A port right there, okay? And once you install your pump, now you just want to make sure this thing doesn't move around. You want to tie it, but I'll do that after everything is set, because as the pool's getting filled up, you want to keep moving or adjusting those foot so that you have a straight pool after it is done. And also I've used a 16 by 12 OSB board on the U support, and for the straight support I use a 10 by 12 board right here, okay? So as you're filling up your pool with water, you want to come out every half an hour or every hour and adjust the footing, because as it gets filled up, the pool is getting pulled in, and once it about 80 to 90%, everything is going to get pushed out again, okay? Let me show you how I adjust it. So something like this, you see right here, it's not really straight anymore, so I just go like this, and I'll move the base if I need to. So just pull this thing out. And then for something like this, what I do is, if I can make sure that this is straight, and I just move the footing as I do it so that this is in the center as much as possible. And you want to repeat that multiple times until you can't move the poles anymore. Okay, so the pole is about a third of the way up, and you can see right now there's a big bowing right there. So both sides are bowing inwards, and when you have that, as you fill up the pool, don't worry, that thing should correct itself as it gets filled up. You just want to make sure that as long as you can move the footing, make sure you put them back to its right places as the pool is getting filled up, because sometimes they would move a little because they're getting pulled. So you see right there, I push it back, and also make sure that the straight poles are straight down. So make sure it's 90-degree and straight down right there, okay? So when they get moved, move it back to where it's supposed to be. So what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna wait for the pool to reach the two outlets. There's one right there and another one right over there. And once the water is higher than that, I can start running the filter, okay? Okay, if you can see right now, the water level is just right above those two water out. Those are the B that goes to the filters. At this point, you can choose to turn on your filter already, or you can also wait until your pool is completely full. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so that I can show you how to prime the pump because it's almost nighttime. Okay, so before you turn on the pump, you want to make sure that the pump first is filled with water. So that's how you prime the pump so that your motor does not burn. Okay, if you look over here, so there's really no water in this hose right now. This is just all air. Same thing right here. The water is just on this side. Okay, so to fill this up with water, you want to open the top of your pump. And what this is going to do is it's going to release all the air out and the water is going to start coming out also. And if you have the valve, make sure that the valve is on as well. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on and then you're going to watch the pump. The water is starting to come out. Okay, so the water is coming out here now, but the water is still there. So what you want to do is put this thing up because this thing is lower than the pump right now. So I'm just going to go lift this up a little. So you want to keep moving it until all the hose is filled up with water. Okay, so after you prime your filter, you can close it. Then you can turn on your pump. And you can see now that the pump is pulling the water from those two outlets and putting it back into the water inlet. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how the pool would look like after you filled it up with water. You can see earlier the side frame have a big bow. Now it's basically straight now. See right there? So you can see right now, this is the perfect level for your water. You can actually go up a little bit more, but in my experience, I don't want it to be too high because the more of a splash out that you're gonna have when you swim, so you're just wasting a lot more water. When you are in this level right here, you keep more of the water inside the pool. The only thing you have to do now is to balance your water. If you're new to pool care and if you need help, please make sure to check my other pool videos. I have a lot of videos there that take care of if you have high pH, high alkalinity, or maybe you have a low pH and high alkalinity. How do you take care of those? I have all those in my playlist. And subscribe to my channel as well because I'm going to be putting a lot more pool tips this summer. And thank you for watching.